Zion Williamson. He is out tonight against the Mavericks because of a hip injury, lower back injuries because of that fall. He went down really hard in that overtime loss to the Jazz on Sunday. They initially had him as questionable for tonight, but again, this news just in. He has officially been ruled out, particularly with a badly bruised hip from that fall. Remember, he missed all of last season. This season, his first game back, he had a good outing against the Nets with 25 points, but out tonight is Zion Williamson. How about the Nets and the Grizzlies? Durant versus Morant. Why not? No relation, in case you're wondering. John Morant, did you know he's 4-0 in his career against Brooklyn? Just saying. Here we go. This is very early in the game. So the Nets, okay, fine, let him have it, right? The problem is when John Morant gets going like that, he can be difficult to stop. Kyrie Irving lost it there, Tyus Jones in transition to you-know-who. That's what we're talking about. There's John's dad loving it. Look again at the reach by Morant to get that ball and throw down the oop. He'd end the half with 24 points. They were down by 5. Now to the third, KD and Kyrie, they went at it against Ja and Desmond Bane. Look at Morant there. Dylan Brooks drives, his shot won't go, but Morant is there for the tip. They tied it there at 72. Nets are down by 10. They gave up a bad 25-3 run to Memphis there, but how about that? Kevin Durant passing Alex English to enter the top 20 all-time scoring list. The great Alex English from Denver Nuggets lore back in the day. So Nets cut the lead to 8 there. Now down by 9, Ben Simmons to Kyrie off the screen, drains the triple. So they cut the lead to 6. A very bad third quarter for Brooklyn. They're trying to make up for it here. Desmond Bane drives right around. How about that to make the layup? And then next play, Kyrie in the lane, nice little spin move there, makes Durant jump. He'll take that. Kyrie up 37, 8, and 5 assists. About 3 to go. Morant gets the board. He kicked it around to Desmond Bane. He was on fire. 32 points in the second half. Memphis leads 127 to 118. Morant top of the key. One more time. My goodness. John Morant, 38 points, 7 assists, 8 rebounds. KD had 37. Bane had 38. What a night. As the final score, Memphis wins 134 to 124. What about Ben Simmons, you ask? Well, this is what he's done for the Nets so far this season, sharing the ball, but notice the fouls. 14 in 3 games so far. That's nearly 5 per game. He's fouled out 2 of them. He actually had more fouls than points in the season opener against Zion and the Pelicans last week. So Ben Simmons, again, missing all of last season. Stephen A. and the First Take crew weighing in on the concern level early on for Ben Simmons as he tries to get accustomed with the Nets.
I see a moment like last night, and I'm encouraged, not discouraged. First of all, he's arguing with the referee. He wants to be in the game. He obviously prides himself on being able to defend, even though going against Ja Morant, good luck with that. The bottom line is that he was fighting to stay in the game. And so when I look at it from that perspective and him arguing and then coming to the post game and talking to the media and having a conversation about that, he's not plagued, apparently, by what he was plagued by last year. And that's all I ask. Obviously, he needs to play better. Don't get me wrong. I'm not letting him off the hook by any stretch of the imagination. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, to see you ticked off that you got called for fouls and you fouling out of games shows me you want to be in the damn game. We have to crawl before we walk. We got to take crumbs when we can get them. The man wants to play. That's where it starts. I want him to one day get a jump shot. Please, at the very least, get a free throw shot.
Be aggressive.
Just be aggressive. Be aggressive. But what I'm saying is, defensively, you wanting to be on the court, all right, and fighting to stay on the court. I mean, call it a sad commentary, but we hadn't seen that from him in a year and a half. If he plays with that kind of passion, I think he'll only get better and better.
It still comes down to coaches and X's and O's at the end of the day. I think Ben Simmons, look, they didn't guard him last night for Memphis. He needs to be way more aggressive. And there were times they just left him on the floor. I don't put all that on Ben Simmons, even though I do. I put a lot more of that on the scheme in which he's being used. And I hope that Steve Nash can figure that out.
Well, first of all, you're assuming Steve Nash is going to be around to figure it out. When we see a Ben Simmons and we understand how pivotal he is to their success, and we see other dudes, the Claxton and others, and we're wondering what level of contribution you're going to get from them or lack thereof because Steve Nash is coaching.
All right, we're going to leave that Steve Nash coaching part alone and bring in our NBA analyst, Matt Barnes. And, Matt, I saw you smiling as you're listening to the Stephen A. and Jay Will segment there. I mean, we're only 3 games into the season. It is very early, and he missed all of last season. But it sounds strange to me to hear the bar so low that we're saying, well, he has passion. He wants to be out there. Really? Is that what it's come to with Ben Simmons? What should we be expecting at this point, Matt Barnes?
I just think we need to be patient. We have to keep in mind this guy missed 486 days between games of him actually playing real NBA basketball. So it's going to take time. And keep in mind, he's also coming off a back injury. So obviously we'd like to see him be more aggressive offensively and cut down the turnovers. But it's going to take time for his back to really be back to where Ben Simmons was, a first-team All-Defender and an All-Star. So yeah, I'm going to hold judgment on this situation, at least for another month or so. But I can't blame Ben Simmons for this 1-2 start. This team's issues are on the defensive end. They're a terrible defensive team. They're the worst defensive rebounding team, and they don't protect the three-point line. And, as these guys mentioned, there was a lot of issues with this team as far as last year, as far as guys getting to play, committing to play. Is Steve Nash the right guy or not? So although we're only 3 games in and we're going to obviously judge this team daily because of the 2 superstars they have, I want to give this team a little bit more time and give Ben Simmons more time to get acclimated to his role on this team and how he could be most effective. Okay,
real quick, because we got to go here, Matt, but it's not the back or his health that you're concerned with right now. It's more just giving him more time?
Yeah, it's just Sage, he missed a lot of time, so just getting the ball in his hands and playing basketball.
Okay, I'll try to be nice. Try to be more patient here. It's just like, what? Passion? You better have passion at this point. Anyway, they go on the road to face Milwaukee. That's tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern, right here on ESPN. So no rest for the weary. Matt coming back with us in just a little bit. Thank you. And again, that tips off our NBA doubleheader tomorrow. Then it's off to Denver for Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets hosting LeBron and the Lakers, who, oh, by the way, are winless. Our coverage tips off NBA Countdown, 7 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Some news this morning. The legal process in the case involving Brittany Griner came to an end earlier today when a Russian court rejected her appeal. Griner's 9-year prison sentence for drug possession was upheld. The court made one change, allowing each pretrial day to count as 1.5 days in prison. Unless the U.S. Justice Department can make a deal with Russia to get Griner home, she'll spend about 8 years in prison. U.S. officials have engaged in negotiations but said they haven't received a legitimate response in terms of a prisoner swap. Outside the Lines will have much more on today's decision and what's next later in the show.
Oh, there we go. Quick take, Stephen A. How about the Blazers? The team now out to a 4-0 start after beating the 2-time reigning MVP, Jokic and the Nuggets. Dame Lillard balled out 31 points. And Simmons went off scoring 22 points in under 6 minutes. Stephen A., are you impressed with the Blazers 4-0?
I'm incredibly impressed. Everybody knows that I've never liked Chauncey as the coach. I wanted Chauncey to be the president of basketball operations. That was my wish for him. I wanted him to run the show rather than coach the show. But so far, so good. He's doing a good job. Damian Lillard, Dame time, has returned. My averaging 33. I just want to put everybody on notice. Okay, 33 points for 50% shooting, 40% from three-point range. And this brother, Anthony Simons, he's special, y'all. This brother can put up buckets now. I like the tandem of him and Damian Lillard. Make no mistake about it, because I love me some C.J. McCollum, but Anthony Simons can ball. Damian Lillard, though, has returned. He has put the basketball world on notice. His health issues have been resolved. The Dame time has returned.
All right, and we're going to keep it rolling here.
It's a quick take.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I know if you want me to say anything.
I didn't know if you were going to pop in, but we're just going to keep going. That's the power of television. The next, Ben Simmons was critical of the officiating after fouling out against the Grizzlies. Simmons fouled out for the 2nd time in 3 games this season, picking up his 6th foul call when John Morant, quote, baited him late in the game. Here's Simmons.
I just saw the play online, yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't a foul.
Okay.
He called it a foul, made a mistake. It is what it is, but
How frustrating is that?
It's really frustrating, but, all I can do now is, support my team from the bench. It's frustrating because, it's late game.